Hey everybody, this is Hawk from the Junkyard Dogs Racing, and boy do I have a surprise for you today. As most of you know, I've been racing with a PlayStation 4 controller. I had a little bit of success. I did win 2 races at Atlanta in Truck Series, and I also finished second in the Flying Aces Winter Cup race with the PlayStation 4 controller. I wouldn't recommend it. It can be hard to break on tracks that you need to break at. Other than that, it is doable. I wouldn't recommend it though. But what I brought to you today is I have got a new Fanatec wheel, and I'm going to do an unboxing of it. I'm going to compare and do a full review of this wheel. I have owned the G29 wheel from Logitech. I've also owned the Thrustmaster T500 and the Thrustmaster T300. And on both of those T300s, I have had the 500 pedals. So I'm going to do a full review, let you know what I got, and basically how it feels and how it compares to those other wheels. Here is the Fanatec Xbox One and Windows 10, the CSL steering wheel. So this one actually is compatible for the Xbox. I think they've got one that's for the PlayStation as well. I'm going to get a couple of button toppers there and actually cover up the Xbox, like the A and X and Y and B, all the buttons. I've seen a little kit that you can use to kind of cancel those out. I'm using this for PC, so I'll really not need any of that. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'll go ahead and kind of bring that down and kind of show you what it looks like. Real sturdy box here. Go ahead and get this wheel out here. It comes in a sweet little case right here. It's got the Fanatec logo on it. I'll go ahead and open that up. And right off the bat, I can go ahead and tell you that this wheel is slightly bigger than any of the Thrustmaster wheels that I've owned. I'm not sure of the dimensions of this wheel, but it is bigger than the Thrustmaster T500 or the T300 wheel and the Logitech wheel. This is a good looking wheel. It's got good weight to it, good grip. Definitely going to be a lot better just the way it feels. I can go ahead and tell you it's definitely a bigger wheel, and I do like that. Everything's metal right here. It's really sturdy. There's nothing plastic on this wheel. The shift pads, they're made of metal as well. So there's nothing plastic on this wheel other than the buttons. So I think this is going to be a great wheel. I'll let you know how this feels as well, especially on the track. Next thing that we're going to review are the Fanatec CSL Elite pedals. Now, when I did purchase this, I did not purchase it with the load cell braking system. It's a lot more money. What I focused on, which we'll see later, I got the Clubsport V2.5 the wheelbase, and I wanted to spend most of my money towards that. I will update the pedals and the steering wheel as I go. I've seen that you can customize these wheelbases to about anything that you want. They've got the V3 pedals. I mean, Fanatec has got so many great products out for sim racing, and things can get very pricey. So I didn't get the top of the line pedals or wheel right off. I went ahead and spent most of the money on the wheelbase. So, but I've done some reviews, and these are great pedals right here. I didn't get the extra clutch pedal. I have no use for it. I don't do a lot of road racing. Most of mine are on the iRacing, the NASCAR, Truck Series, all the oval tracks. So, but anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get into this. And now, one thing I'm going to say, it's going to be very, very hard to beat Thrustmaster's T500 pedals. I'm just going to be honest with you. Their pedals are some of the best that I've ever seen. I've already done seen a couple of reviews on these wheels online, and these things do not come assembled. They actually have mounts. Each pedal can be mounted in a different spot. I'm going to let you look at the base here. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I'm already liking the base. This is very heavy. I don't think it's going to tip over, kind of like Logitech. I own the Logitech G29. Their pedals weren't bad. They had some weight to them, but they weren't very sturdy. I felt when I was having to do some hard braking, they would tip back. I don't foresee this happening with the Fanatec pedals. Not quite, actually, not even close to as heavy as the Thrustmasters. Okay, the Fanatec pedals, they've definitely got some weight, but nothing like the Thrustmaster. This is a metal base though. As you can see right here, all those notches right there, all the holes right there are spots for the pedals. I'm not going to mount this right now. I can let you see it later. This right here are the pedals. Pretty lengthy looking pedals right here too. I'll go ahead and get this out. Each one of these right here can be mounted to whatever spot on the wheelbase that I want. So only using a 2-pedal system, which is all that I need right now, you know, I can mount these at any dimension that I want, and I'll have to wait and sit down and do that later, kind of feel however I want it to. These right here have some nice rubber paddings on both pedals, and I have read that you can actually remove these, and they've got some sandpaper grip. So I'll probably end up putting sandpaper grip on the brake, and I'll probably be leaving the rubber padding for the accelerator. So I'll give you a full review on the pedals as well, but I'm telling you, it's probably going to be hard to beat Thrustmasters. All right, now let's get serious. This is what I've been waiting to open. This is what I'm most excited about. Here we are, the Fanatec Clubsport's V2.5 wheelbase. This bad boy is awesome. I've seen a lot of reviews on it, and I've heard nothing negative about this wheelbase. I can't wait to unbox it and get this bad boy mounted. As far as the mounts goes, if you don't have a mount, it doesn't come with one. I had to buy this mount right here separate. That's the only thing that if I had any negative remark to make, you do have to buy a table clamp if you're gonna mount this to a desk or something like I am. Super awesome clamp. I mean, this thing is at least 10 pounds in itself. Awesome clamp, and I think it was only about 20 bucks from Fanatec's website. So as you can see, Fanatec always has some cool little things on their boxes and stuff. The opening part says hello. The next part says realism, and that's what any sim racer is trying to get, the most realism they can. And after that, it says goodbye, which is what I plan on saying to a lot of other racers once I get this bad boy mounted. Once again, just as the wheel was and the pedals, the wheelbase is in an awesome case. I guess if you needed to take it somewhere, or you was wanting to put it up, it has an awesome little carrying bag that you could, you know, keep this in, keep it from getting damaged. Tell straight from the get-go that this right here is a sweet wheelbase. Look at this bad boy. I mean, if that isn't gorgeous, Fanatec has done an awesome job in designing this. One of the coolest parts of this wheel base is, and I know this is just for looks, but this open cover right here. You know, it's got a smoked glass on it right there. Anytime the wheel turns right here, you can actually see the components of the wheelbase moving in it. And I mean, it's just a phenomenal feeling wheelbase. Very heavy, all metal. The back piece is plastic right here, but it's just a cover. Other than that, I mean, unbelievable. This right here has a nice red LED start light on it. And I'll show you more of that once I get this thing mounted up. Just feeling this thing, unreal. Can't wait to get this thing up and going, and I will definitely do a full review once I get it mounted, steering wheel on, and everything calibrated. I hope to do that a little bit later, and I'll do another review and tell you exactly how this compares to other wheels that I've used in the past. Hey everybody, what's up? So I said I would give a full review once I got my wheel mounted and everything calibrated the way I wanted. I've been using it for about a week now, so I can give a proper review. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give you all a look at my setup here. I do have the Fanatec wheelbase and wheel mounted to the desk. Like I said before, I had to get the clamp, and I got that from Fanatec's website. Seems to be holding up really well. It's pretty sturdy. I haven't had any problems with it. The CSL Elite pedals, I'll get to that in just a moment. Go ahead and boot this thing up. And unlike the Thrustmaster, it doesn't start up as you boot your PC. There's actually a start button, and then it'll calibrate itself. So you turn that on, and during calibration, I mean, it is completely silent. I mean, it makes no noise whatsoever. This is one of the cool things that I like about this wheel. Everything that you do on it, any of your tuning options, you can actually tune it from the wheel. So you can have 5 different setups on this wheel right here, and this is the CSL Elite steering wheel. You can have 5 different setups. So there's a little joystick type thing right here, and you access all that through them. There's setting 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'll go back to 1. I haven't done many setups on this other than just on setting 1. I'm sure that, people that do road racing and stuff, I'm sure they have several different setups, and you can get into that, but I haven't got into a whole lot of tuning right now with it, but I'll go through a couple of these things. So to access your tuning options, you're gonna push in the joystick, and you're gonna go over. The first one's sensitivity, force feedback, shock, ABS, drift, force, spring, damper, and then your force effect intensity setting. So you can mess with those. There's some tutorials on exactly how to tune it and what you're looking for, but you can tune your wheel by the wheel. You don't have to actually go into the settings of the game. I like you had to do on with the Thrustmaster wheel. So when I race, as far as my force feedback and all that goes, I do it straight from the wheel. All right, so my final thoughts with this wheel. Is there anything like this wheel that I've used so far? Comparing it to the Thrustmaster, the T300, T500, and the Logitech G29, which was what I was going to compare them to because that's the type of wheels that I've used. Don't get me wrong, Thrustmaster is still a really, really good wheel. This one's just a little bit better. Is this wheel going to make you that much faster? Probably not. I'm able to hold lines that I couldn't hold before. To actually be a good sim racer, you have to put in some time on the game. You have to learn the tracks, learn braking points and things like that, which leads me to my next point. The CSL Elite pedals, total bust for me. They're going back. I'm actually sending them back, and I got the Clubsport V3 pedals. The CSL Elite pedals, I just wasn't very comfortable with them. The pedals were extremely lengthy, and I didn't think with such a heavy pedal base that they would tip on me, and at times having to really get into the brakes, the base actually did tip back a couple of times and slide on me. So I wasn't very happy with that. So Thrustmaster's pedal still way on top as far as that goes. I'm gonna do another review on the V3 pedals once I get them. Should be a little bit later this week. So